So before I go into the details of my appointment in March, there were some things I forgot to mention. One thing in my first assessment with my current neurologist, she did find that my legs were pretty shaky, trembling. I think they call it myoclonus, whatever that is. And she did find some hand tremoring, which I kind of felt that, so that wasn't a big surprise. Anyway, when I came in for the March assessment, she asked me about, what dosage I ended at, and I told her it was 3 pills, and she watched me, walk and saw the improvement. I mean, she could barely see the left foot turning in. Now my left arm still wasn't swinging, like the right arm was. And we talked a little bit, and she really couldn't make a call whether I had the dopa-responsive dystonia or maybe if this was Parkinson's disease. So she recommended that I have a DAT scan or a DAT scan. At that point, I had never heard of that, but she explained to me that basically it's a head scan, and they can detect the dopamine activity in your brain. So since I had done every other diagnostic, I was like, yeah, I'll do it. So I scheduled that, I think it was in late April, and it was an all-day thing. My neurologist also ordered 6 more blood labs, which, damn, I thought I was done with those, but guess not. And so I went to Allegiant Lakeside. It was 9 a.m. on that morning. We started out with getting the blood draws, getting those out of the way. And maybe a half hour later, I had to drink this really, really bad drink. I guess it was supposed to, kind of protect your thyroid gland from the injection they give you. So gulped that down, and then it was maybe an hour later that I got the injection. And that had to, I guess, sit for about 3 hours in your body before they could do the actual scan. So it was back to the, waiting room and watch some TV. They gave me a free lunch card, which is pretty cool. I mean, actually the cafeteria food wasn't bad. So I had lunch, and the time actually went quick. But it was probably about 2:00 before I got into the actual, exam room, or the, where the DAT scan or DAT scan was going to take place. I was kind of surprised because I kind of thought it was just going to be like an MRI tube, and it wasn't. It was like this weird, camera. I can't even really describe it, but it kind of went over your forehead and kind of covered it like this. And they actually get it to about an inch, away from you, or probably within an inch. And they just take pictures, or it just sits there, and then they'll kind of rotate it, and it'll sit there for a time, come back to the middle, and then the other side it'll kind of again just kind of taking pictures. I think it kind of goes back like this too, on top of your head. The actual scan only took about 35 minutes, and but by the time it was done, it was like I was there basically from 9 o'clock, until 3 o'clock. The results came about, it was about a week, and it did find that I had decreased dopamine activity on the right side of the brain, and on the right, of course, the right side of the brain controls the left side of the body. So that would kind of explain why, I was having, symptoms on the left side. And my neurologist, we talked about it, and she was like, I want you to come back in June, and we're going to, discuss everything and what we're going to do going forward. And so she didn't really diagnose. I think she wanted to see me, and that's fine. I mean, I'm not I wasn't in no rush. I was on the medication for whether it was Parkinson's or if it's the dopa responsive dystonia. So my next appointment would be in June, and we would discuss what we were going to do going forward. I was just, again, happy that we were making huge progress, and my opinion was, I kind of thought then, and actually when I was on the levodopa trial, I kind of suspected that I was going to be diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, but had to wait until June, and you'll have to wait until I come back on here and hear what happened.